Hello friends, it's Miss Jamie and I'm so happy to see you today for a new week of virtual preschool. Let's start by singing Pat, Pat, Pat with our music teacher, Miss Nancy. Here she is.
This is Pat, Pat, Pat from Wonderful You. Pat, 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 pat. Now, tickle, 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 just like that. Tickle, 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 and we'll pat, pat, pat again, pat, 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 just like that. Pat, 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 just like that. Now squeeze your feet, squeeze your feet, squeeze your feet, 'cause that feels neat. Squeeze your feet, squeeze your feet, squeeze your feet, and now we'll pat, pat, pat again, pat, 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 just like that. Pat, 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 just like that. Now, fingers in your hair, fingers in your hair, fingers in your fingers in your fingers in your hair, fingers in your hair, fingers in your hair, fingers in your fingers in your fingers in your hair, and now we'll pat, 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 just like that. Pat, 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 just like that.
Thank you, Miss Nancy. Should we wake up Betsy? Call her. 1, 2, 3. Say, Betsy, where are you? Betsy. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. How are you? Hello, Betsy. How are you? Hello, Miss Jamie. How are you? We're so glad to see you. Here, here. We're all here. Here, here. We're all here. Here, here. We're all here. We're all here together. Yay! Betsy, do you know what we're talking about this week? Yes, in fact, it does have something to do with this silly hat. Do you know what kind of hat I'm wearing? Betsy thinks I look like an artist. Do you think I look like an artist with my artist beret on? Yes! This week, friends, we are going to learn all about some different artists. Now, I've been telling you that when you make art, you're an artist and you get to decide what your art looks like. It's the same for these artists that we're going to learn about this week. Each person that we'll talk about made their own art. No rules. They got to decide what the art would look like. So each day, I'll show you the picture and tell you about a different artist. Today's artist is a man named Pablo Picasso. Can you say Pablo Picasso? Picasso was born in Spain, which is in Europe, but he lived most of his life in a different country in Europe called France. Pablo Picasso made more art than almost anybody in the whole history of the world. He liked to paint and write plays and make sculptures and do drawings. He had so many different kinds of art. Let me show you one of Picasso's famous art pieces. Do you see this one up here? I'll tell you what Picasso says the name of this art is, and then you tell me if you can see it. This is Picasso's painting called Violin and Guitar. Do you know what a violin is? An instrument, and a guitar like Miss Nancy plays? Now, do you see a violin or a guitar in Picasso's artwork here? Not exactly, right? It's not an exact picture of a violin, and it's not an exact picture of a guitar. This is an example of abstract art. Can you say that? Say abstract art. That means that Picasso used shapes and put them together so it didn't look exactly like a violin or a guitar, but you can sort of see some parts that resemble a violin or a guitar. Look at this picture and tell me if you see any shapes that you know. Do you see any shapes on Picasso's violin and guitar? Do you see this one here? Yes, this is the shape of a rectangle. Can you find another rectangle? Yes, there's a little white rectangle here. And what about this shape? Do you know what this one is? A triangle. And do you see here, this looks like it could be the side of a violin or a guitar. Do you see any other parts that sort of look like a violin or a guitar? What is this right here? You see, it sort of looks like strings. And these parts here sort of look like the F-holes on a violin, don't they? Does this look like the top? Yes, Picasso liked to put lots of shapes together to make abstract art. So we're going to talk about shapes for a little bit, and then we're going to put our own shapes together to make some abstract art. Just like Picasso, we're going to be artists. I'm going to tell you a little story about some shapes and a mouse named Kim. Would you like to hear a story about some shapes and a mouse named Kim? Will you help me here count the squares? I have 1, 2, 3, 4 squares. And I also have 1, 2, 3 circles. Can you show me 4 and then 3? Good. 4 squares and 3 circles went out to play. The circles were round, so they rolled away. This big one is going to really roll away. With 4 equal sides, all straight and flat, the squares couldn't roll, so they just sat. 2 squares were quite big and 2 were real small, but that didn't bother the small squares at all. One little square said to the other, "We're exactly alike, so let's get together." Let's put these 2 small squares together. Pressed side by side in a sort of a tangle, the 2 alike squares formed a rectangle. Then 2 little circles that weren't far apart rolled up to the rectangle to help make a cart. The cart was so cute and cozy inside. In jumped a mouse to go for a ride. "If I had a roof, I'd make a house," said Big Square 1, "a house for that mouse." "I'll make the roof," said Big Square 2, "cut me in half and I'll show you. From corner to corner, we're going to cut the square. Cut right through the square made a triangle. In fact, it made two. One for the roof to shelter the mouse, and one for a tree to plant by the house. When the mouse house was built, in less than a minute, the mouse parked his cart and began living in it. The third busy circle, we didn't forget. We just haven't found a good use for it yet. Oh, look, said the third circle as he squeezed himself flat. Now I'm an oval. Well, look at that. Out by the house, I'll make a pool where Mouse can go swimming to stay nice and cool. When the pool was all finished, the mouse we'll call Kim ran out of the house and went for a swim. Now Kim has a house, a cart, a tree, and a pool to keep cool, and it was all free. The mouse, we used all the shapes to make these things for the mouse. We made a house and a cart and a tree and a pool, all out of different shapes. And you're going to use some shapes to make your own artwork now. First, let's sing a song all about shapes so we can just remember what the shapes are. Do you know what this one is? It has 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. We're going to sing like this. Do you know what shape this is? What shape this is? What shape this is? Do you know what shape this is? Can you make it too? What is this shape? It's a square. Good. Hold your finger up and let's make a square. Over, down, over, up. Well done. Should we do another one? Do you know what shape this is? What shape this is? What shape this is? Do you know what shape this is? And can you make it too? What shape? It goes all the way around. It's a circle. Good. Put your finger up and make it go all the way around like a circle. Now I have a hard one for you. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. Do you know what shape this is? What shape this is? What shape this is? Do you know what shape this is? And can you make it too? Do you know the one with 6 sides? It's hard. It's called a hexagon. Mwah! Brain. Hexagon. Well done. Can you hold up your finger and make it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You knew those shapes. I'm so proud of you. Well, I am going to read you a book all about Picasso. It's called Picasso Loves Shapes. And then we're going to be artistes. We're going to be an artist and make our own art. First, let's read this book called Picasso Loves Shapes. You see all the shapes on the page? There's a shape museum with pictures of different shapes. And here's the title page. Picasso Loves Shapes. There's a famous picture of Picasso when he's wearing a black and white striped shirt. So if you ever see an artist in a picture wearing a black and white striped shirt, you can say, I think that's Picasso. Hello, let's talk about shapes. There are many kinds of Shapes. This is a circle. Here is a rectangle. Now Picasso was Spanish, and so he spoke Spanish, and he says, hola. That's Spanish for hello. Say hola. This is a beautiful shape. Es muy bonita. Why, yes, Picasso, that is a triangle. You know what it needs? More excitement, more something. No, Picasso, that triangle is fine. In that case, hasta luego. Bye, Picasso. This is a square. This shape is an oval. This shape. Oh, it's Picasso again. Lo siento, amigo. He's like, I'm sorry, friend. I am inspired. I must paint. And look, Picasso's going to paint on that oval. What is this? Like a backwards L and some lips? It's a face. And Picasso says, now it is perfect. Very beautiful work, Picasso. Gracias. More shapes, por favor. That means thank you. Give me more shapes, please. Sure. Next, we have a trapezoid, a parallelogram, a pentagon, and an octagon. See, these are very good, but it needs more. May I? Thank you. Okay, Picasso, go ahead. What is Picasso going to do with these shapes? Come, mis amigos, let's make art. Yay! You see all the children making art with Picasso? I wonder what they're going to make. We can add lines and mix shapes. We can make new shapes too. We can put shapes together. Wow, everything is beautiful, Picasso says. This makes me very happy. Which shape is your favorite, Picasso? I will have to say all. I love all the shapes. Wonderful job, friends. Hooray! Let's go make more art. Adios. Bye, friends. And then the friends are all making art using their shapes. Here are some pages about Picasso. It says Picasso was an artist who made all kinds of art. He made paintings, sculptures, and even costumes. Not only did he make all kinds of art, he made lots of art. Over 500,000 pieces. That's a lot of art. Picasso was a very passionate person. He made art with all his heart and energy. He was also very romantic and good with the ladies. And the ladies say, hey, Picasso. And the boys say, ooh. Picasso loved doves. He built birdhouses in his bedroom so they could visit. His wife did not like that. There are quite a few dove paintings that Picasso made. While some artists are famous for only one style, Picasso is famous for many. There's the guitar he was talking about. During the blue period, Picasso was very sad and used a lot of the color blue. In the rose period, Picasso used lots and lots of pink. Some say that's when he was in love. Cubism was a style that Picasso created when he was experimenting with shapes. No surprise that Picasso loves shapes. Let's make art. We're going to make some art just like Picasso did. I'm going to show you a couple more pictures of some of Picasso's famous Cubism painting. It's a kind of like abstract painting that he made pictures of people's faces. Would you like to see 3 more paintings that Picasso made? Here's a picture of a woman. Do you see it looks like she has 2 different faces? One on this side and one on that side. Do you see how he put all of these shapes together to make her face? Here's another example of one of Picasso's portraits. It doesn't look exactly like a face, does it? Her nose is sort of up here and her head is an odd shape. And she has one ear up at the top and one down at the bottom and one eye looking to the side and one to the front. It's abstract art. And here's one more. Do you see all of these shapes that Picasso used to make the face? One big eye, one small eye, part of a chin, and the other cheek goes this way. This is Picasso's abstract art. Will you make some art with me? Let's make a picture like Picasso. To make Picasso art, well, you're the artist, so you can decide. But you might like to try it like this. So you're going to get a piece of paper and we're going to make Picasso portraits, just like Picasso did when he was creating art during his abstract period. And to do this kind of art, I'm going to use a black marker to draw a big oval. Can you find the top of my paper? Good. And let's use our finger to trace a big oval shape. Ready? Around, down, and up. Can you trace it on your paper? That's the way to get the idea before we try the marker. Now I'm going to use my marker and make it go around, down, and up. And it is okay if it's any shape, because you can see that Picasso made his faces in lots of different shapes. And then to put the eyes and the nose, you could either draw shapes or you could cut paper into shapes. Or another fun thing to do is to take a magazine and look for different people and cut out the pictures of the people from the magazine. Look what I found in my magazine. This is an eye. Do you think I should glue my eye on my Picasso circle like that? To use glue, remember that you need to take the lid off and twist it up just a little bit, not too much or it will break off. And then I'm going to put a little dot right where I want my piece to go. And then I'm going to put the eye like that. I have one eye on my picture. And here's another eye. Should I put another glue dot? It can go anywhere because Picasso's eyes were all in different places. So you can put it up high or down low. When you're the artist, you get to make the decisions about where the art will go. I'm going to make mine go like that. What else do I need on my face? How about a nose? That's a good idea. I found this little bitty teeny tiny nose. You see this little bitty teeny tiny nose? Should I glue it right here in the middle or off to the side? Maybe I'll make it go off to the side. And should I give my face a mouth? This is one that I found, a great big smiley mouth. I'll make it go just like this. Perfect. And then when we stick it on, it looks like that. I could also use my markers or crayons to draw different shapes on my Picasso face. I could give it some ears, maybe some circles for ears, or another one this way. You could give your Picasso art a hat, maybe like a rectangle with a circle on it like my hat. You can draw your own Picasso face. Maybe you would like to use squares and triangles and circles to make a face. You can do that too. When you're the artist, you get to make all the decisions about what your art will look like. Do you know Picasso has a famous saying? Do you know what Picasso used to say? He'd always say, "Every child is an artist." And that means you too. You're the artist. Betsy and I would love to see what kind of artwork you create today. If you work on some art, will you take a picture and send it to us? I would love to see it. It is already time for us to call Betsy to come back and say goodbye. Will you help me call her? 1, 2, 3. Say, Betsy, come back. Come on, Betsy bird. Hello, friends. Betsy, would you like to make some art with me? After school, we could glue some shapes together or make a face. We love to do art together, don't we? That's one of our favorite things. Can we sing goodbye to our friends? Preschool time is over now, over now, over now. Preschool time is over now for another day. Wave goodbye to all of our friends, all of our friends, all of our friends. Wave goodbye to all of our friends. It's time to stay home and play. Hip, hip, hooray! Betsy, are you hungry for some birdseed? She's always hungry for some birdseed. Do you have any down in your pocket? Reach down there and get a big handful of birdseed, and I will show you your play pack this week. The play pack has some fun ideas for art that you can do at home to search for shapes, some books to read about Picasso, and maybe you could even learn some Spanish words, just like we said in the book that we read today. Be sure to print your play pack. All right, Betsy only has one thing in her bird brain. Birdseed time. Can you throw it this way? 1, 2, 3. Thank you for the birdseed. And if you'd like to catch Betsy's kiss, hold your hand out like this. Catch it. Stick it to your cheek. Give yourself a big hug from Miss Jamie and Betsy. We liked making art with you, and we can't wait to see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye, friends. Bye-bye.